The roots are of course around here, and it grows horizontally, 6, 8 different arms, it depends. And well, each of these arms, well, the theory says that it should have just one shoot at the point, you know, in the end. And so it grows horizontally, and year after year, when pruning, you're just going forward. If you have a space in between those different ends of the different arms, you can have also a shoot to have more grapes. You know? This is a system where you can go to very high yields if you want, if you irrigate, if you fertilize, if you help, and if you are in the right kind of soil, of course. You can go to very high yields if you like. So imagine that this crisis where we have been for 2 centuries, people wanted to have a vineyard that produced a lot of grapes. Quality was not important, it was just for bulk wine to drink here. So you can push this system and have very high yields if you like. You can also have different crops in between during the winter. So these are small plots everywhere. Families, most of the families were poor, so they had to make the most of their small parcels. And the theory that we prefer is that when we cultivated Malvasia in the 16th and 17th century for wine exports, probably the Portuguese invented this. At the time of the Spanish conquest, probably there were more Portuguese people living in Tenerife than Spanish. Okay, so we could have been British, we could have been Portuguese, but we are Spanish. And probably the Portuguese invented this kind of training method for Malvasia, because Malvasia needs long pruning. Its fertile buds are from the 5th and onwards. So you need very long pruning. Here, well, normally this year we prune at 3-4 buds. Imagine Malvasia would be like 20 buds. So you have long shoots. So this is a right way to lean those new shoots every year. And so when we switch from Malvasia to different grape varietals in the 18th century, just in Valle de la Orotava, that's the good thing for us, just in Valle de la Orotava, they kept on doing the same way. This is the way they knew, so I think they didn't want to complicate their lives. They didn't just do it at once, you know, probably it took time, and they saw that it could work for different grape varietals, not just for Malvasia. And we have it since then. When I go to wine fairs and I tell the age of this vineyard, this is at least 150 years old. Well, we don't have it in written, yeah. But my father, he's 93. He never switched from one vine to a different one. And we bought this plot. The family bought this plot in 1870s. Wow. Wow. So and we are lucky about it. We are very lucky about it, because the pruning system is so gentle with the vine that it can live forever. You know, when one say that the longest arm is the oldest, when it dies, it's too weak that it dies. You come here and you take it out from the whole structure. Sometimes you don't even have to use the scissors. You just broke it, you know, take it out because it's already dead. So, but years before, you created a new arm. This is a new arm. You see, the future it will be the oldest. It will be there. So you're regenerating the vines year after year, little by little. This is a way of respectful pruning, very respectful for pruning, because you allow the sap to grow always on the same direction. Sometimes when pruning, the pruners, they make some changes and it's not always perfect. but the idea pushes these pruners to do the right way. You know, it's just going forward and allowing the sap on the same direction, no big changes, and you don't make big wounds to the vine when pruning. That's the most important thing. So diseases do not come in, bacteria, fungi, viruses. Yeah. Of course, we have a lot of viruses here because this is a very old vineyard. You know, it didn't come from the nursery 10 years ago. When you have to jump a step, you can do it with one of these vines. You can come from here and go higher, which you cannot do with the trellis system. Yeah. Trellis needs a flat surface, but here you just make the most of it.